Section 1. Introduction. When you hear the word Jamaica, what comes to mind? For many, it is a picture of perfect beaches. It is the sound of reggae music floating on a warm breeze. It is the taste of a cold drink under the hot sun. And while all of those things are a beautiful part of the island, they are just one page in a very long and complex book. The postcard version of Jamaica is real, but it hides a much deeper story. It is a story filled with hardship, incredible strength, and a fight for freedom that has shaped every corner of the nation today. This is the story they do not always tell you, the one that makes Jamaica truly remarkable. Let us start with a common myth. Many people believe that Jamaica was always a place of carefree joy and easy living. It is a nice thought, but it is not the truth. The fact is, Jamaica's history is marked by profound pain and relentless struggle. Its joy is not born from ease, but from overcoming that struggle. The nation's soul was forged in fire. Brave acts of resistance, big and small, are the true foundation of its vibrant spirit. Understanding both the suffering and the courage is the only way to understand the real Jamaica. It is in this balance of shadow and light that the island's true character shines. This essay will journey beyond the sunny shores and into the heart of Jamaica's past. We will walk through its history step by step to uncover the hidden truths that are often overlooked. We will meet the island's first inhabitants and see how their world was changed forever. We will confront the brutal reality of colonial rule and the system of slavery that powered an empire. But we will also celebrate the heroes who refused to be broken, the rebels and leaders who carved a path toward freedom. This is not just a history lesson, it is a human story. By exploring these untold parts, we can see how modern Jamaican culture, its music. Section 2. The First People. Long before any European ship ever saw its shores, the island of Jamaica was home to a thriving civilization. An artist's rendering of a peaceful Taino village by the coast. This land, which they called Jamaica, meaning land of wood and water. Wood, dense tropical forest and trees. Water, rivers flowing to the sea, coastal lagoons. The Taino people cared for this land. They were peaceful and skilled. They were expert farmers, cassava, sweet potatoes, corn. They were also masterful fishers, using intricate nets and canoes carved from massive trees. Their world was rich with tradition and deeply connected to nature. The Taino lived in well-organized villages, often led by a chief called a cacique. Their homes were circular buildings made of wood and straw, built for tropical weather. They were creative people, crafting beautiful pottery and weaving cotton into hammocks for rest. They had a complex spiritual life, with gods, ceremonies, songs of ancestors, and dances that celebrated the cycles of life and nature. This world was shattered in 1494. On his second voyage to the Americas, Christopher Columbus landed on Jamaica's shores. Everything changed. The arrival of the Spanish marked the beginning of the end for the Taino civilization. The newcomers were driven by a hunger for gold and land. They saw the Taino not as people with a rich culture, but as a labor force to be exploited. The Spanish claimed the island and forced the Taino into brutal servitude. They were made to work in mines and on farms under horrific conditions. The impact was swift and devastating. Beyond cruelty, the Europeans brought diseases like smallpox and measles. These new sicknesses swept through the villages, wiping out entire communities. Within just a few decades of Spanish arrival, the Taino population had been decimated. While their bloodline survives in some Jamaicans today, their language, their organized society, their way of life, almost completely erased. This great loss is the first deeply painful chapter in Jamaica's modern history. You know, it is a heavy thing to consider. After the Spanish presence faded, a new colonial power set its sights on Jamaica. In 1655, an English fleet arrived and successfully captured the island from Spain. This marked the beginning of British rule, a period that would last for over 300 years and fundamentally reshape the island's destiny. The British saw immense potential not for gold, but for sugar, a luxury fetching high prices in Europe. They transformed the island into a massive sugar-producing factory, clearing forests and creating sprawling plantations. To power it, they turned to the transatlantic slave trade, stealing men, women and children from West Africa, packing them into horrifying holds, treating them as property, bought and sold. They worked the cane fields from sunrise to sunset under threat of the whip. This system of chattel slavery became the economic engine of the British colony. A common myth suggests plantation life was uniform. While cruelty was universal, the reality was more complex. The system was designed to strip people of identity. Families were torn apart. Humanity was denied. They were given new names and forbidden from speaking native languages or practicing spiritual beliefs. Resistance was met with extreme violence. A small minority of white planters held power over the vast majority of enslaved black people. This era left deep scars, divided by race and class, an economy dependent on a single crop, and a landscape altered by cane. Understanding this dark period is crucial. It is the foundation for what came next: the resistance, the culture, and the long road to freedom. Despite overwhelming brutality, the spirit of resistance never died. People fought back in countless ways, working slowly, breaking tools, keeping culture alive in secret. Others planned large uprisings. The island was never a place of quiet submission. Runaways fled into rugged interiors, dense forests, steep hills, establishing free communities. Skilled fighters, the Maroons, waged guerrilla raids, freed others and disrupted the colonial economy, a symbol of freedom and a thorn in Britain's side. The British could not defeat them. After decades of conflict, in 1739, a treaty with the Leeward Maroons, led by Cudjoe, a similar treaty with the Windward Maroons, famously led by Queen Nanny. Freedom, land, a degree of self-government, a stunning victory against a mighty empire. Queen Nanny is now a national hero. Rebellions grew larger. The most significant was the Christmas Rebellion of 1831. Led by Baptist deacon Samuel Sharp, tens of thousands rose up. Though crushed, its scale shook Britain, making slavery too costly, financially and morally. It catalyzed the 1833 Slavery Abolition Act, leading to full emancipation on August 1, 1838. The end of slavery did not end sugar. Owners sought new labor from abroad. Indentured workers arrived from India and China, promised wages and a new life, often still hardship. Smaller groups came from Germany, Ireland, the Middle East, bringing languages, foods, religions, traditions. They settled alongside the African-descended majority. This mixing is key to modern Jamaican culture. Out of many, one people. On this small island, cultures met and blended. You can see it in faces, taste it in food, hear it in language and rhythms. Jerk cooking, rooted in Maroon practice with African spicing and Taino methods over pimento wood. The patty's British crust with African and Indian spice. Curry goat from Indian influence. English remained official, but Jamaican patois emerged. English foundation, West African grammar, Spanish and other influences. Patois is spoken in homes, markets, streets, the language of storytelling and song. For more than a century after emancipation, Jamaica remained a British colony governed from London with power held by a small elite. Leaders like Alexander Bustamante and Norman Manley organized unions, formed parties, and demanded rights. On August 6, 1962, the British flag was lowered, the black, green and gold was raised. Jamaica became an independent nation. The country joined the Commonwealth and began building a new society. Government, laws, vision, schools, hospitals, infrastructure. Independence did not solve everything. A common myth. Challenges endured. Economy, inequality, political divisions, alongside real achievements. Through culture, Jamaica found its global voice. Reggae was more than music, a message. Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff sang of injustice, love, redemption. Their music carried Jamaica's story worldwide. A small island became a cultural superpower. Jamaica is so much more than a beautiful vacation spot. It is a living, breathing history lesson in resilience. Its story is woven with threads of profound loss, incredible joy, brutal oppression, triumphant freedom. To only see sun and sand is to miss a soul, forged in struggle and shaped by heroes, both famous and forgotten. The postcard is beautiful, but the full story is powerful. The most vibrant cultures often grow from the hardest ground. It echoes in every beat, every flavor. Why is it so important to know these untold parts of Jamaica's story? Because history is not just about the past. It is about understanding the present and building a better future. When we learn about the Taino, the horrors of slavery, and the courageous fight of the Maroons, we honor those who endured. We learn to listen for the smaller voices that are often drowned out by grand narratives. The hidden history reveals Jamaica's strength to face unimaginable hardship, hold on to hope, and create something beautiful and new from the ashes of pain. This journey from Jamaica to an independent Jamaica proves small acts create monumental change. One person teaching a child, one healer saving a life, one musician turning suffering into liberation. These acts, repeated over generations, transformed a society built on chains into a nation celebrated for its unbreakable spirit. Legacies that empower the next generation to keep building, dreaming, and pushing forward. The real Jamaica cannot be captured in a single image or simple slogan. It is a complex nation carrying all its history, pain, pride, struggles, successes. The island teaches that people can endure the worst and still create a culture that enriches the world. To know the full story is to respect the journey. The true Jamaica is resilient, it is bright, and its history, both seen and unseen, is always moving forward.